Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be an update video all about my nipple piercing. So I got my nipples pierced a while ago, like I want to say like September, October-ish. So that's like what? Almost 5 months ago-ish, around that time frame. I should have like marked on my calendar the day that I got it, but I don't remember. I think it was a Saturday. That's about all I remember about that day. Also, it was really rainy. But yeah, so I've had my nipples pierced for a while, and they do say, sorry, my flyaways, they just never want to stay down. I put hairspray on them, doesn't happen, so sorry about it. But they typically tell you that nipple piercings take anywhere from 6 to 9 months to heal, or 9 months to a year to heal, depending on your body type, and depending on how you as a person heal. I tend to be, with like things like cuts and bruises and things like that, I tend to be a pretty fast healer. With things like nipple piercings, like tattoos, I'm also a pretty fast healer, but piercings, for whatever reason, they don't want to heal for me. My tragus took probably a year, and I think it took a year and 2 months for this tragus piercing to fully heal. And my belly button piercing, if you guys have followed my, if you guys have watched my belly button piercing video, I talked all about my very unfortunate process that happened. I talked all about how my belly button piercing rejected and caused a great scar on my tummy. It's super great. But anyway, so I expected my nipple piercings to take a long time to heal, and they are still healing, but I wanted to tell you guys, you know, just a little update on how they're doing, what they're feeling like, what they're looking like, you know, all that stuff. Obviously, I'm not going to show you because I would get probably banned from YouTube. But so when I first got my nipples pierced, well, when I got my nipples pierced, it was very painful. It was probably the most painful piercing I've ever had in my entire life. I have my tongue piercing, if you can kind of tell when I talk. I had my tongue pierced, had my tragus pierced, I had my belly button pierced twice, and then I got my nipples pierced. So those are all of the like extreme piercings besides like my earlobes. I have 2 earlobe piercings on each side, and I'm kind of thinking about getting a cartilage piercing, but we'll wait another day for that. Anyway, so my nipple piercings, out of all the piercings I've had, is definitely the most painful piercing that I've ever gotten. It was like, I can't even explain. It was just like, it felt like what it was. It felt like someone shoving a needle through my nipple, like, and both of them. And it was really painful. But the great thing about piercings is they're fast. So if I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't. So I told myself, like, if my nipple piercings got infected, or if they were rejecting, or if anything happened where I had to take them out, I would probably not get them re-pierced because of the pain. So I decided that I wasn't going to get them re-pierced if anything happened to them because they were very painful. Now, for the first, I would say 2 months, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months? It's been a while, I'm sorry. I would say for the first, like, probably 1 to 3 months, my nipples were still pretty sore, very tender. It felt very uncomfortable to wear like bras, to wear like my seatbelt was the biggest pain. Excuse me, because my seatbelt comes across my chest, sorry, driver's side, this way, and so this nipple on my right side I would have to kind of hold the seatbelt outward because otherwise it would rub against my nipple, and it did not feel very good. So I did that for probably, I would say, a month, and then it got to the point where I can wear a seatbelt now and feel relatively comfortable. And so even with a bra on, it would still rub, and I didn't like that feeling. And now, of course, I can wear a seatbelt normally and it doesn't bother me. I wore a sports bra for, I would say, probably the first month of me having my nipples pierced. They are really, really great to kind of just keep everything together. And in terms of like not being like bouncy, not worrying about like bumping it the wrong way, it provides like an extra layer of protection. I don't like I'm the type of person who I like to not wear bras. I like to just be like free. I don't like the restriction of bras in terms of it's not comfortable for me, and when I'm home by myself or if Mike is home and like I don't have to worry about like making myself pretty or whatever, if I'm just focused on being comfortable, I'm not wearing a bra. And I don't like bras. I just think they're not fun to wear, they're not comfortable to wear, and I choose not to wear them as often as I can. Even if it's like cold outside and I'm wearing like a big sweatshirt, I won't wear a bra. Like, I'm totally fine going out in public without a bra on. That being said, I can't really do that with my nipples being pierced for a couple of reasons. One, I feel very vulnerable. At this point, I like having a bra in terms of like having that extra protection for my boobs, instead of just like if something brushes up against me, if I bump something, it's not just like my nipple being hit. Like, obviously I have a shirt on, but it's like a thin shirt, you know, and so it's nice having a shirt and a bra as like that extra protection. So there's that. And then I can't not wear bras with shirts or with dresses that are strapless, because my nipples are always like out, since I have a bar like behind my nipple, if that makes sense. It pushes my nipple outward, and therefore I always have like hard nipples. Like, whether they are or they're not, they always look like they're hard because of having the piercing there. So that's a little unfortunate. I do kind of miss that, but it's totally fine. I can always, when I get to that point, I can get like little nipple covers or like the pasties or whatever, but I'm not ready to put those on my nipple piercings yet, but hopefully we will get there at some point in time. As far as healing goes, I still get crusties every now and then, but I'm cleaning my piercing, I would say, like once a day, whereas before I was cleaning it probably 2 to 3 times a day with the H2 Ocean piercing spray I get from Hot Topic. I usually use that for all of my piercings to clean them, and that's what I've been doing. But at this point, I clean them probably once a day. And some days, like if I'm really tired or I'm too lazy, like I'll skip a day, but I'll just make sure to definitely clean it the next day. But I haven't noticed any like issues doing that. So they are healing really nicely. They are definitely not tender anymore. They're definitely not sore or uncomfortable. I can sleep just fine. I do still have problems sleeping on my left side for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I have to kind of like adjust myself the right way, because otherwise it will kind of like press up against my nipple. And I think part of it is that my nipple bars, since most piercings should and do, when you get pierced with your initial barbell or whatever it is much longer than a traditional size because it accommodates for swelling. So like my tongue piercing, the barbell is much longer than the one I have in my mouth now because it accommodated for swelling. Same for my nipple piercing. So the barbells are pretty long, and I do really want to change them out, but I am not ready to yet. I know for a fact that that would be, one, probably painful to do, or at least uncomfortable to do, and also I know that my nipples are not healed enough to change them. But I think that that sleeping issue will get better because my barbells will be much shorter, because sometimes when I lay on my side and I like push my boob up against the bed, it pushes like the barbell that's like this, and this is like my nipple. Just pretend, okay? Pretend is this better? It's not better. This is my nipple. This is the barbell through my nipple. Sometimes if I lay on my side, it'll push the barbell like this, or if the barbell's already like on this side, it'll kind of like bend it a little and it'll just be uncomfortable on my nipple. So once I size down to a standard size, I'm sure it will solve that problem. But as far as healing goes, that's pretty much it. Nothing major. Like I said, I still get crusties now and then, but definitely not as bad as I used to. I have noticed when I was first like initially healing, that I would get these like almost pimple like bumps, like not even bumps, like one bump on my left like inside piercing. So there's two, you know, holes in my nipple, one on this side of the nipple and one on that side of the nipple, because the piercing goes through. Does that make sense? So the one on this side would have like one little thing that kind of looked like a pimple, but it wasn't a pimple, and I wasn't really sure what it was because it wasn't a keloid, because it looked like a whitehead. I know that's probably gross, I'm sorry. But I didn't really know what to do with it. I just kind of left it, and eventually it went away. So there was that. It was a little bizarre, but for the most part, I've had a pretty easy healing process. I have snagged it a few times, I have bumped it a few times, it hurts, it bleeds a little bit, but I clean it and it's going pretty good. So I think I've gotten to the point now where I kind of know my body and I know how my body heals to piercings, and so I know not to over clean them, also not to under clean them, but to just not mess with them. Like, that was the thing that when I was younger and I had my belly button pierced, like, I just wanted to change it into cute piercings. I wanted to mess with it, and I just knew that I couldn't do that. And especially with something as sensitive as my nipples, I knew, like, I'm going to take as long as I need to take for my piercings to heal. Like, if it takes a year, that's fine. If it takes a year and a half, that's fine. I'm not in a rush to heal them. I will want them to heal as naturally and as quickly as they want to, but I'm not going to rush into changing them out and things like that. So I'm very conscious of that. I haven't gone swimming yet because it is like March, so it's not warm enough to go swimming, but I planned my nipple piercing strategically so that when the time comes for me to swim, hopefully my nipples will be healed enough that it'll be okay for me to be swimming, especially in places like a pool. So I do think that that will be fine. I have heard that, like, sometimes people, their nipples become more sensitive, like hypersensitive, when you get your nipples pierced, and I have noticed the opposite. I've actually, like, my nipples feel less sensitive now than they did before I got them pierced. And so again, it's just the body type, you know, everyone's bodies are different, everyone heals differently. That doesn't mean my nerves are damaged, that doesn't mean anything. I've just noticed that they're less sensitive, and that doesn't really bother me. It's totally fine either way. But that's just something I've noticed. But other than that, I think I've had a pretty easygoing healing process. Nothing extraordinary has happened. I haven't had, you know, any infections or anything like that, so I'm pretty pleased with them. I love my piercer. She is so sweet. I'll link her Instagram below if you guys are interested, but she is the sweetest and she is so professional, and I love her to death. And I really enjoy having my nipples pierced, and it's something that I've kind of wanted for a while, and I think they're doing really well. So I will update you guys in another, I don't know, 3 to 6 months and let you guys know if, you know, if I get to that point where I change them. I will talk about that, or I'll talk about, you know, whatever. But that is everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up, go down below, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notified of when I upload videos. I am planning on uploading Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday of this week, so I'm super excited, so keep an eye out for those videos. But yeah, that is everything I have. Hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!